Hello, everybody. I'm welcome to the Mikestand. It's Wednesday, December 7th. Let's see. It looks like we have at least one other person here. So that's good to see. Anyways, we're gonna wait a few minutes. So if now, as always, as shown in the banner there. First off, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. Also, as we cover stuff, if anything grabs your attention, anything you want to comment on or ask questions about, please do so. And if you have a question and I can answer it, I'll do the best I can to do so. Anyways, hope everybody's having a good time right now. We are at Hump Day, so we're basically going to, we'll wait a few minutes to give people a chance to come in. But right now, it would be a good time if you have any questions for me in particular, without any of the material yet. Feel free to ask, or if you have a comment or you want to have something to say, go ahead and be part of the conversation. Let's see. I hope you're having a good week thus far. Scooby Dooby Doo, looking for you. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? All the stars are here, waiting for you. Couldn't have a show without you. Scooby, Scooby Doo. Hey Scooby, where are you? Over here. Hong Kong Phooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. Chicka chong, chicka wong, wong, wong. Hong Kong Phooey, that's terrific. Interesting little tidbit there. The guy who provided the voice for Hong Kong Phooey, Scatman Carruthers, who's a pretty well-known jazz musician. Aside from that, of course, aside from doing Hong Kong Phooey, he also did jazz in the G1 Transformers cartoon. So there's a little tidbit for you. It was very sad and unfortunate that he passed away in between seasons 2 and 3 of the Transformers. I think it was actually Transformers the movie was one of his last roles, I believe. He was also on Chico and the Man. They dropped out of. Yeah, I'm just waiting for people to come in. So, and if that second person had stuck around, I would have gladly started up at the 5-minute mark instead of waiting till the 8-minute mark. So, anyways, let's just see though if I am still the only one here. Alrighty. Oh, it would seem that yes, I am in fact the only one here at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away from the camera for just a quick moment. Take care of something real quick. While we wait for more people to show up. But while we do that, I'll go ahead and put. Oh, there we go. You're back. Okay. Actually, now that you're back, let's see. We're at the 4.5 minute mark, so a little on the early side for me to start, but I will go ahead and do it anyways because I got at least one other person here. So, now they dropped out again. Oh boy. That's I was hoping you'd stick around a little longer there. Would have started too. Not ready to get started here, but since we got to wait a little bit more, see if people come in. We go ahead then and go off camera here for a moment. And I'll be right back. Close. Hi, excuse me again. Sorry, gotta go. Oh, you're right. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sometimes when you're the only one in the house, you have to tend to them. So, um, anyways, I'll pass the 10-minute mark. So, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what's on tap for tonight, and we're gonna start getting going here. So, tonight, the two main stories we're gonna look at are a couple of anime-related stories. One in regards to the Knights of the Zodiac live action adaptation that's coming out, and then also apparently Metabot is getting celebrating its 25th anniversary. We'll be looking at that, and then we'll be looking at some other. We'll see what else is going on, and then we'll do the wrestling wrap up and the this day in each history before all is said and done. So, anyways, with all that, why don't we go ahead and get started here? Let me see. Let's get started. See where we'll start off here. You ready then? All right, so here we go. Here's the first article we're going to look at tonight. Anime movies connection here. So, Knights of the Zodiac teaser reveals first look at Hollywood's live-action cinematic take on Saint Seiya. I'm sure many of you also remember seeing the anyways, as many of you probably remember growing up, at some point watching Knights of the Zodiac, the one of the English adaptations of Saint Seiya. Anyways, Nerdigans Inc. Article by Nerdigans Inc. published yesterday. Let's take a look at this. Though Hollywood may have hoped that the cosmos would shine bright in the first teaser for their live-action interpretation of Masami Kurumada's Saint Seiya manga, fans worldwide are concerned that the film may turn out to be this generation's Dragon Ball Evolution. Does this have anything to do with the fact they're like really altering the story in a way that will turn a lot of the fans that fell in love with the series in the first place? Let's see. Anyways, produced in collaboration between Toei Animation and Sony Stage 6 films, Sniper Reloaded, Resident Evil Vendetta, the West's upcoming take on one of the most popular shonen mangas of all time, right up there with like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. As explained by the film's action choreographer Andy Cheng, will be a U.S.-centric retelling of Kurumada's original story. U.S.-centric, huh? Yeah, that's probably, that's just screaming failure. Quote, my job is to turn animation into live action, Chang told Anime News Network in July. Quote, the content is over 35 years old and some things need to be updated. We had to find a bridge. Not necessarily. You don't always have to update everything, dude. That's the type of stuff that when you start messing with it, that's usually when you turn the fans who are most likely to come out pay the money for it are going to turn it away. Quote, the original content is from Japan and it's a very Asian theme. Well, of course, it's because it's anime. He continued, quote, right now, in brackets, the live action film is called Knights of the Zodiac, and it's more on the U.S. side. They know I'm from the East side and can do the West side, so we're blending the two. Quote, my job is to make sure the action doesn't look too Asian or too Western. All right. Sounds interesting. Cheng noted. Quote, it won't look like Crouching Tiger. There will be punching, but won't be an MMA style. Every character has their own signature move and symbol. But it's based on real martial art. Well, yeah. Well, okay. And what you have to also understand, too, here is Saint Seiya, right, even though it's a Japanese anime, the characters each represented a different part of the world. And therefore would also embody a different form of martial arts. So that could be everything from Japan's karate and aikido to kung fu and wushu from China to taekwondo and kickboxing and or taekwondo in Korea, kickboxing in Vietnam and Thailand, boxing and from the United Kingdom, so And support to change, and martial arts, just for those, martial arts just means fighting art, okay? Even though most of the time when you hear the term martial arts, it usually is inferred that it's implying Asian martial arts. But a martial art is a fighting art form developed by a particular culture. You know, karate is a Japanese martial art. Like karate, um, jiu-jitsu, aikido, those are martial arts, those are Japanese martial arts. Kung fu, wushu, those are Chinese martial arts. They even call boxing a form. Boxing and wrestling are, in a way, martial arts because basically it's the idea of like hand-to-hand style combat with limited weapons. Not necessarily projectile weapons like guns and like slingshots and stuff like that, but just now granted, different martial arts, different martial arts use different weapons in their training. But wrestling, you could argue, is one of the oldest forms of a martial art. It's more grappling, obviously, but it is still, you could still call it a martial art. Boxing is it could be considered a martial art too. You know, again, martial arts just means a fighting form. Fighting form usually. You know. Anyway, let's continue on here. In support to Chang's claim, the live-action debut of Seiya and his fellow Bronze Knights was being made with the West in mind, Toei Animation producer Ikezawa Yoshi told Variety that same month the idea to develop a live-action film as the first part of a franchise was inspired by the success of Marvel and DC's shared cinematic endeavors. Tatsumi Mark Dacascos readies himself for a fight in Knights of the Zodiac 2023 Toei Anime. Quote, the original manga runs to 28 volumes of comic, unquote, detailed the producer. Quote, the original anime series had 140 episodes plus 30 or 40 sequels that belong to the original comic. So that's nearly 200 episodes. Yeah. Quote, you can make many films with that, so she added. And after the success of Marvel Studios are looking for properties that can make sequels, like Harry Potter or Hunger Games. We are looking at 6 movies as a package. Released on December 1st to both the film's official website and its YouTube channel. The premiere teaser trailer for the first of the franchise's 6 possible outings focuses primarily on introducing actor Makenyu Arata, himself no stranger to live-action manga roles, having played Yukishiro Inishi in 2021's Rurouni Kenshin, the final, and cast as Roro Noa Zoro in Netflix's upcoming One Piece series. as the series' lead protagonist, the eponymous Seiya. Here's the. Alongside his reveal, fans were treated to their first shots of the golden Capricorn Shura and the Sagittarius Aiolos clashing in the sky, the former utilizing Excalibur while against his winged opponent. Hmm. All right. Yeah, okay. So, anyways, getting back to the article here. A fully Pegasus cloth equipped Seiya standing against a projection of the very cosmos he draws power from. Oh, there's something right there. And in apparent confirmation that the film will draw inspiration from the recent CGI reboot of the series, which began life under Netflix but is now being handled by Crunchyroll. The villainous Phoenix Nero, who was played by Diego Tinoco, who portrayed Cesar Diaz in On the Block. I guess that's where he is right there. Shown among these brief introductions is a glimpse at an armored battle between Seiya and a group of Dark Knights outside of what appears to be a museum. However, while these shots were supposedly meant to hype up fans, the dark forces of the bronze Pegasus cloth has instead left them hoping that the suit will have a date with the visual effects in post production. Either that or it is a dark saint. But since the live action film is following Netflix's Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac, it's more likely the former opposed to the latter. From there, the trailer transitions to the antagonistic goddess of war herself, Athena, played by Madison Iseman, from Lennon Allison, who played, I guess, Lennon Allison in I Know What You Did Last Summer the TV series of that, who is seemingly using her powers to disintegrate a group of warriors, possibly even former saints. In parentheses here, notably based on the aforementioned influence of Netflix CGI reboot seen in the trailer. It seems this bleep is indication that the film will be using the series version of the False Prophecy. So yeah, so basically, so what they're saying here, it sounds like they're gonna this movie is gonna be based more off of the recent reboot as opposed to the original content. Yeah, that's likely to really. Yeah, you're just telling a lot of the older fans, a lot of the original fans, hey, up yours. Yeah, that's a good way of of doing that, right? Good way of selling a movie. By just totally alienating the very people who would want to watch it. Okay? Next up is Marin, seen drawing her signature mask during what appears to be the combat training she conducts with Seiya at the beginning of the original manga. Followed by Garad, who thanks to undergoing the same gender swap as the version in the Netflix series, is played by actress Famke Jensen, who portrayed Jean Grey Phoenix in Fox's original X-Men trilogy. As the trailer draws to a close, Seiya is seen in a particular set of armor, which places the scene directly ahead of the final test of his training. The very moment he awakens his cosmos during a life or death battle against Cassius. Alongside the trailer, the film's official website also released its first teaser visual. Therein, a lone Seiya, clad in his signature red shirt and jeans, can be seen walking amongst through the ruins of Athena's sanctuary toward the statue of the goddess, its crumbling head bathed in light. So that's it right there. Helmed by the Witcher video game series cinematic director Tomasz Bagnicki, Bonsky, the Knights of Athena will try their hardest to shine their cosmos bright when Knights of the Zodiac hits theaters worldwide in 2023. Well, there we go with that one. There we go with that article. Let's see what we're on time here. I know we did start a little bit early here, so. Here's the next article we're going to check out. Let's see where we're. Hey, Mamie, how you doing? I'm happy to see you back, Mamie. Hopefully, hello, Mike. Happy to be back. Well, happy to see you back there, Mamie. As always, if you can help by liking and sharing the stream, and then we can get some more friendly people on here, that'd be appreciated. Anyways, and as always, if anything catches your attention, maybe feel free to feel free to feel free to comment or ask questions about anything you might see here. So, anyways, what we at on time here? All right, 32 minutes. Okay. So, anyways, all right. So, Metabot celebrates 25th anniversary by making full series available to watch for free on YouTube. Article by Nerdigans Inc. published yesterday. It's time for 90s kids to take a nostalgia trip back to the days of Fox Kids, as developer Imagineer has announced that they will be making all 52 episodes of the original 1999 Metabots available to watch for free on YouTube. Revealed by the developer during a special Metabots live stream held in commemoration of the 25th anniversary. Wow, 20 that 25th anniversary of the manga, or that, because they just said that the anime series is 1999. That's not quite, that's still a couple of years away, for unless they're gonna do 2 years here of the franchise's original video game. Okay, yeah, okay. Held in commemoration of the franchise's original. Okay, yeah, rather than immediate release of the entire series. This plan will begin on December 5th and see Imagineer upload one episode of the series per week every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern, which would be 3 a.m. Pacific, where I'm at, of course, for an entire year. Making its debut on Nintendo Game Boy on November 28, 1997. So, yeah, so the 25th anniversary just happened for the game, anyways. The first Metabots game, originally titled Metarots in Japan, was conceptually similar to the iconic Pokemon series. So much so that it also released in two versions, Kabuto and Kuwaga. However, rather than catch organic creatures, the Imagineer series sees players collect parts to modify their very own Metabot in order to rise to the top of the series' signature row battle competitive fighting scene. Kind of like Robot Wars, huh? A little bit. All right, so anyways, in the 25 years since then, the franchise has gone on to be a blockbuster hit in Japan, with a total of 9 official entries and a vast number of spin-offs. Most recently, 2015's Metabots 9 and 2020's Metabot S Unlimited Nova, respectively. The local popularity of the Metabot um, franchise has also been steadfastly maintained um, through expansion, um, through expansion um, into other forms, um, and into other forms of media, um, including the anime and including the anime and a number of manga runs. In fact, a new installment in the manga series, Metabot Reloaded, is currently being worked on by mangaka Hakubayashi and serialized in the magazine Manga Hot. I guess there's a comic teaser for it. However, while American fans may recall growing up watching the anime on Fox Kids and ABC Family, Metabots never really took root in Western territories. What was the reason for this classic mecha series fading into obscurity? The answer is simply bad timing. Unfortunately for the Beetle-themed Battler, it released in the West in the same period as Pokemon and Digimon Adventure, both of which saw far more of a marketing push from their respective studios. So basically, they were just out. It sounds like they were outflanked by Pokemon and Digimon. That's why. All right. It also didn't help that the first Metabots game released in the West was the fighting game spin-off Metabots AX in 2002, or that it released a year after the anime had finished airing. Yeah, that probably didn't help things much too, because then like, you release something, something that may not have been as popular as other anime, and then you release something like a year after it stops. Kind of, you're just asking for people to forget about it. People kind of forgot about it and probably lost interest and just moved on to the next thing. Further, the first and only mainline Metabots game to actually release in English was the 2002 remake of Metabots 2. With this lack of Western video game support, it's no surprise that Pokemon found it particularly easy to dominate the collect a creature and fight them market. Mm-hmm. Alongside their YouTube plans, Imagineer has stated that they have various projects in the works for the year-long celebration of the franchise's anniversary. Continual updates on these projects will be posted by the developer on both the official Metabots YouTube and Twitter accounts. And you can just tell the 90s animation right there as you look at it. uh, hmm. All right, so now that we've got through those two, let me see if there's anything new that was added on here before we move on to CDR. But first off, let's see where we're at on time. All right, so we're at 41:23, so still got a bit of time here, even what I just planned. So let's see if there's anything else here that I might. All right, there's nothing else here, so we'll probably move on to CBR here. I probably will continue the anime theme first, and then we'll go through like some of the other comics and stuff like that. Everything inside of a day ago. That's what we're That's well searching. But before we do that, I do need to step away from the camera for a moment, so I'll be right back. I'll put some music on for you guys. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had some things to go take care of. Anyways, Alright. Anyways, all right. So let's see what we got here. Coming. Hey, good night, kids. I don't think that's a spoiler. Spoiler. All right. This sounds like something of importance here. Let's take a look at this. I guess this is in regards to the anime, of course. Um, One Punch Man drops JC Staff, joins Mappa for season 3. A recent leak suggests JC Staff will not return to animate One Punch Man, and that Mappa will take over producing anime's third season. Yeah, this seems to have been happening a lot lately. Mappa's been taking over a lot of properties that would seem um, from other companies. Anyways, anyway, I want to go check. I need to go check something here. So well, camera one more time here. All right, sorry about that. So let's get let's get into this article here now that we're back on. Mhm. Okay, so a recent leak suggests. Okay, we already read that. All right, so article by Hillary Long, published 13 hours ago. Mappa will produce season 3 of One Punch Man. As per Shonen Leak, the report revealed that Mappa will now handle the third season of One Punch Man. Over the course of its run, the hit anime adaptation has been some- shuffled around several animation studios. Madhouse, which of course did Death Note, Paprika, and Parasite the Maxim, produced the first season, and season two um, moved to JC. Produced the first season, and season two moved to JC staff with Shikara Sakurai replacing Shingo Natsumi as director. As for season three, details on the next installment are still scarce. Appa has had an extremely packed production schedule for the past 2 years, with studio animating several big name series. The um, the first notable project the studio worked on was Yongi Park's webcomic, The God of High School. In the same year, Mappa adapted Gege Akutami's best selling manga Jujutsu Kaisen with the director of The God of High School, Sung-Ho Park, um, returning to direct the anime. After which studio decided to step down, Mappa picked up Attack on Titan the final season. Mappa's been busy. In 2022, the studio is currently working on Tatsuki Fujimoto's dark fantasy series Chainsaw Man after wrapping up production on the second part of Attack on Titan the final season. Despite the packed slate, Mappa isn't losing momentum. 2023 is already stacked with heavy hitters as the animation company is slated to produce the second season of Vinland Saga, Attack on Titan: The Final Season Part 3, Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and Hell's Paradise, Jigo Kuraku. While Mappa has garnered praise for its production values, the studio has also been under scrutiny for its unhealthy working conditions. A freelance animator criticized the studio for overworking animators, claiming that the studio had factory-like conditions. Yeah, yes, this is kind of the way it is over in Japan, just across the board. It's not just Mappa, I think, that's doing it. I think there have been other studios that have been accused of that type of scenario too. The animator also blasted Mappa for working on 4 series at the same time, consequently adding to the workload. Teruyuki Omine, the episode director for Attack on Titan the final season, tweeted that he was able to go home for the first time in 3 days, February 2022. In July 2021, the studio came under fire for underpaying its animators on a Netflix project. Mappa responded that it pays compensates its that it's pay. I think I should say its pay, not it pays. Its pay compensates its employees fairly. Created by One Punch Man is a superhero manga that began as a webcomic series in 2009. 2 years later, artist Yusuke Murata contacted the mangaka asking if One wanted to work together in redrawing the webcomic. As he was a huge fan of the original series, the story followed a bald 25-year-old man named Saitama who has grown bored with fighting since he has the ability to defeat opponents with a single punch. Hence the name One Punch Man. Um, this There is no confirmed release date for the third season of One Punch Man. The first 2 seasons of One Punch Man are available to stream on Crunchyroll. Alrighty then, so there we go with that one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go off camera here for one more time here. Let's see, unless. Okay, I'm going to go off camera one more time here for a quick moment. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back now. So, anyways, let's get back to the articles here. See what more we can find. Yeah, that's not a spoiler. Hmm. That might be a spoiler. Okay. Basically, I'm just looking through, seeing what's well, anything that I think may be a spoiler. That's why I'm just let's see. Okay, here's one that we can look at here. Studio Ghibli films get reimagined as cozy JRPGs by pixel artists. A pixel artist has transformed the beloved Studio Ghibli films Kiki's Delivery Service and The Secret World of Arete, um, Ariete into pixel JRPG. So what I'm guessing is JRPG means Japanese role-playing games masterpieces. By Olivia Redfern. Published 6 hours ago. Okay, a pixel artist has gone viral with recreating various Studio Ghibli films as cozy video games. Twitter user at Cloud Trumpets, aka Amor, shared their JRPG take on the beloved 1989 movie Kiki's Delivery Service. With a caption, quote, "What if Kiki's Delivery Service was a cozy video game?" Unquote. The tweet included images showcasing what one might see if this game really existed, including a title screen, some dialogue with her friend and now NPC, non-player character, Tombo, as well as a cute baking minigame. The final image depicts the protagonist, Kiki, running through the town of Koriko with her feline friend Gigi running alongside her. It appears that the game would also include the ability for Kiki to switch between traveling on foot and flying on her broom. The tweet has received an overwhelmingly positive response with over 222,000 likes and 37,000 retweets at the time of writing. Twitter users flooded the replies with praise and for the colors, UI, and little details, like Kiki's iconic red radio shown to be playing the opening song of the film. One user shared how they think the mini games would work, commenting, quote, "I feel like there'd be mini games at certain people's houses. Like at the old lady's house, you'd have to do chores around the house, blow into the mic to start a fire, imagining this on like a TS or something like that, or something." Unquote. Another user commented, quote, "I'm so disappointed there's not a small quote wish list here link to watch the artist respond to which the artist responded, quote, "Someday there will be, maybe." Let's see. If the Secret World of Ariete were a video game, now that's a video. That's a movie I watched. In response to the positive reception, Amor linked to a previous tweet made in May 2022, another JRPG reimagining for the 2010 Ghibli film, The Secret World of Ariete. The images show a title screen and dialogue snippet like with the Kiki's Delivery Service JRPG. But this time includes an apparent boss battle with a large cat and page from a journal for tracking players' progress. Amor also created an original character named Bolt, into the game concept, which many users loved. One commented, quote, I absolutely love how you crafted the speech here. It's so lifelike and brings a lot of the character to Bolt. Bless, what a good idea. Unquote, unquote. Studio Ghibli is a Japanese animation studio best known for its feature films. Founded in 1985 by directors Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata, and producer Toshio Suzuki, the studio has released 23 films, 5 of which are among the 10 highest grossing anime feature films made in Japan. The 24th film will be Hayao Miyazaki's final film, titled How Do You Live, which was revealed in October 2022 to be nearly finished, as well as a new feature film, the long-awaited Ghibli Park, opened its gates on November 1st. Visitors will immerse themselves in the many works of Studio Ghibli has created through their works. How Do You Live has no set release date, and then show the sources here. Let me see now where we're at. Well, let me get back to this page and see where we're at on time. Okay, an hour and then 31 seconds. Okay. Let's see. Actually, this character profile might be interesting to read for Naruto fans like myself. Shikamaru's lazy genius persona makes him one of Naruto's most intriguing characters. Naruto Shikamaru Nara is known for being lazy and laid back. Here's how his personality makes him one of the series' most interesting characters. Article by Courtney McClure, published 6 hours ago. There are many great characters in Masashi Kishimoto's beloved shonen classic Naruto. With such a large ensemble cast, each with their own unique character arcs and abilities, it comes as no surprise fandom is filled with ample discussion on which cast member is written the best. One such character that often appears in fan discussions is the relaxed, lethargic Shikamaru Nara. Being an expert strategist and one of Naruto's best friends, the character um, quickly became one of the most popular cast members. Here's how Shikamaru's lazy genius attitude makes him one of Naruto's most complex and fascinating characters. Shikamaru's initial character. Now, this scene, of course, is, I believe, from the Sasuke retrieval arc, when some of the male members, all with the exception of Shino, of course, got together to go after Sasuke of the Konoha 11, Elite 11. At the start of Naruto, there isn't much known about Shikamaru other than he's seemingly lazy and has a very laid-back personality. He's incredibly easygoing, unlike many of the other characters in the series, who are high-strung or simply just have a lot of energy, like protagonist Naruto. Well, I think in a way, having Shikamaru kind of like that is, it helps balance out the series with guys like Shikamaru and Neji and Shino as well. You have some of these more and you could even argue Sasuke to a certain extent as well. Some of these more, cooler, more laid back characters help to balance out the likes of Naruto and Kiba and Choji and and Konohamaru and all that. So, um, yeah. So during the Sasuke recovery mission arc, Shikamaru is tasked by the new Hokage, the powerful Tsunade, with leading a team of Genin to chase after Sasuke and bring him back to the hidden Leaf Village. To most viewers, this likely seems like a suicide mission, and Shikamaru probably wouldn't be most people's first choice as a leader. But he's a newly established Chunin, and Tsunade wants to test his leadership abilities. Many viewers likely expected Naruto to be tasked with the mission, as he is the main he's the main character. Sorry, but and there's a typo right there. They forgot the T there. But Shikamaru proves everyone wrong as the story arc explores Shikamaru's hidden strategic abilities. Now, granted, they expounded on that in that arc, but they were already showing that previously during the Chunin exam arc. I mean, there were times when you saw, you look at his matchup with Tamari in the Chunin in the third third round of the Chunin exams. You know that he proved to be a very good strategist, and they had little snippets prior to all this too. With some of the discussions he'd have with Asuma and certain things, and how they would talk about like stratagems and all that. Before the mission begins, Shikamaru tells the group that he doesn't really care about Sasuke as a person. In fact, he doesn't even really like him. Despite this, he understands Sasuke is an important member of the Hidden Leaf Village, and he vows to bring him back, even if it costs him his life. This is one of the most important arcs in Naruto, and it's a great way to introduce a new angle of Shikamaru's character, since viewers have only seen a glimpse of his personality up until this point. Which is true. I mean, again, he probably of all the Genin, he's probably one of the most mature of all the Genin. Out of the group of the Leaf 11, Shikamaru probably is the most mature. Okay, at this point. Okay. He's probably the most mature. He's kind of laid back. Yeah, maybe a little lazy. Maybe he doesn't want to necessarily take a lot of unnecessary risks. But sometimes in a leader, that's what you want. You got to know what, as the song goes, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? So, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. You're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough counting when the dealing's done. Anyways, viewers can take away two things about Shikamaru while watching this arc. One, he's a surprisingly great strategist, regardless of the unexpected struggles his group faces. And two, Shikamaru is able to keep his calm in most situations, even in the face of death. Before the team leaves the front gate of the Leaf Village, Shikamaru devises the perfect plan. Kiba in the lead, Shikamaru behind, followed by Naruto and Choji, and Neji bringing up the rear. Basically, the idea here is Kiba and Akamaru basically being able to smell out any danger, in front of them. You have Neji behind them to cover their rear, with his Byakugan. And then you have, of course, Shikamaru, Naruto, and Choji in the middle to handle what may come. Kiba leads the group because of his dog-like abilities, being able to track Sasuke's scent. He also has Akamaru, an actual dog, which provides added precision in their tracking. Two noses are better than one, right? He is also familiar with the territory, which comes in handy. Shikamaru follows Kiba to give him orders um, as the situation changes. He also keeps watch for any enemy ninja coming at them from front in case Akamaru and Kiba don't sense them. Then come Naruto and Choji. Naruto can use his shadow clones, watching the team's left flank, while Choji, being the strongest physically, able to defend the team as he's ordered from the right. Neji comes last with his Byakugan ability, making him the best choice for defending the team from the very back. It's pretty much a lot of what I said there. It's obvious Shikamaru considered his team's strengths and put them to good use, positioning them where he best sees fit for the mission. However, the strategy isn't foolproof, and given the circumstances and the fact that they are chasing a group of 5 enemy ninja, the team slowly gets separated and must fight by themselves for the majority of the arc. Yeah, as they come upon each of the enemies, each member of the team has to face, like, Choji takes on Jirobu, and then Neji takes on Kidomaru, and then Kiba and Akamaru take on Seikon and Ukon, and you get, the leader, Shikamaru taking on Tayuya before for Naruto to continue on and finally face off against Sasuke. It caught up to him at the Valley of the End, as it were. Nonetheless, Shikamaru is able to build excellent strategies, providing he's not nearly as lazy as he seems, proving that he's not as lazy as he seems. He is also able to keep his cool even when under immense pressure. Now, as I said before, he's probably the most mature member of the Konoha 11 at this point. Again, the Sasuke recovery arc showcases his skill. He carefully leads the Sasuke rescue team with precision, doing his best to come up with every possible outcome and counteracting it before it actually happens. Things don't always go as planned, however, and the team doesn't give up. Shikamaru, the shockingly capable strategist. Now, they're probably going to talk about what I mentioned earlier, his fight with Tamari. Kind of funny. You know how they say sometimes you can't beat them, join them? Well, in some respect, I think Tamari kind of took that to heart a little bit. Because I think most Naruto fans know what ended up happening with Tamari and Shikamaru. I won't spoil it for those who don't know, but for those who do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. In Naruto Season 2, Episode 68, Zero Hour, the destruction of the Hidden Leaf Village begins, the team gets trapped by one of Orochimaru's henchmen, a hidden sound ninja named Jirobo, who traps them in. Okay, so they were showing the picture of the. They were showing this picture here, but I guess that's still not what they're talking about. Um, huh. Traps them in an Earth prison dome of magnificent nothingness. Basically, a big, huge stone dome. Basically, is what it is. Um, Jirobu had Earth style chakra, basically. In an attempt to escape, Kiba tries. In an attempt to escape, Kiba tries using an attack, um, but the dome quickly rebuilds itself. Shikamaru notices the damage from their attacks. Seems damage from their attack seems to heal slowly in one area compared to the others. And by talking to Jirobo, he figures out it's the point farthest away from him. So they attack the area and escape. Yeah, that was a pretty cool, in a way, he even, sometimes, again, in another, classical thing where sometimes in order to fool your enemies, you got to fool your friends. That's basically what he did there when he was talking to Jirobo, making it sound like he was willing to surrender and like sacrifice his friend to surrender. But that wasn't the case. This is a great example of showing Shikamaru's calmness and willingness to strategize even when faced with the impossible. He also won't give up, especially when there are others relying on him. The only way he rarely gives up is if he's too lazy to finish the task, or it takes too much effort, but there are no troubling consequences. Or it takes too much effort, but there are no troubling consequences if you fail. So here's what it comes down to. When lives are on the line, and when he's serious, Shikamaru is the man to lead any group of ninja. Okay, for maybe more mundane tasks or where people's lives are not on the line or anything like that, that's when he shows his laziness more. He doesn't want to make the effort. But when it counts, when it really, really counts, when it's really important, he'll step up. He'll step up and lead and be the great leader and strategist that he is. So there we go with that one. Let's see where we're at. Time, okay, and we're 1:26. Okay. Oh well, thank you for whoever came in and gave me another um hmm. It does seem like this screen's a little fuzzy, doesn't it? Hmm. Right. That was a little bit there. That cleared things up there. Now we have up to okay. That helps things a bit. Alrighty then. So, we'll at least finish off that. Let's finish off this and see where we'll go from there. Rockies fight justified. That sounds a bit like a. Here's one nobody's talked about in a while. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. That's one I kind of watched and liked. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle was made by the legendary. Okay, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. Why the anime petered out. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle was made by the legendary Clamp. Unlike their other series, fell into obscurity. Why did this happen? Article by Jonathan Greenall, published 14 hours ago. Okay, so whenever a manga is adapted into an anime, there is always a risk that the show won't adapt the complete story. Many manga series run much longer than their animated adaptation. And if the anime ends at a poorly chosen place in the story, it leads to audiences feeling shortchanged. This is very true of Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles began serializing in Weekly Shonen Jump in 2003 and ran until 2009. The series was written and illustrated by the legendary manga group Clamp. Now, Clamp is a pretty well-known group of female manga artists who've done a number of works together, manga and anime artists who did a number of works together. All right. So, anyways, most known for series like Cardcaptor, Sakura, and Clover. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles is set in the same universe as several of their other works, including Holic, which was serialized around the same time and frequently crossed over with Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. The anime adaptation was made by B-Train, which ran for 52 episodes, across 2 seasons, 2005 and 2006. There was also a movie titled Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, the movie, The Princess in the Birdcage Kingdom, made by Production IG. Then between 2007 and 2009, Production IG released 5 OVAs adapting later parts of the manga. However, these OVAs were unconnected to the 2-season anime. The plot of Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. I don't know if that was intentional or what right there, but Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles is set in the kingdom of Clow. Shauron, a young archaeologist, is investigating the mysterious ruin with his childhood friend, Princess Sakura. However, Sakura suddenly sprouts a pair of glowing angelic wings. Shauron attempts to save her, but the wings shatter, sending the feathers flying off into different dimensions through a rift in space. This plunges Sakura into a catatonic state, leaving Shauron utterly terrified, especially when he learns that all these feathers contain that these feathers contain all of Sakura's memories. Yes, this was a very interesting anime to watch. It was kind of fun just watching them, trying to collect the memory fragments and stuff like that. So, um, let's see, putting her at risk of death. This forces Shauron to jump through a dimensional rift, traveling between worlds to collect Sakura's feathers. However, when he meets Yuko Ichihara, the dimensional witch, he learns that this quest will involve great sacrifice. However, the final 10 episodes of the second season are filler, and the ending leaves several major plot points unresolved. Weirdly, the last episode's final moment hint that there is more adventure to come, with one character even saying, quote, there are still lots and lots more Sakura's feathers waiting to be found. Well, yeah, that's true. In some ways, leaving a series like that on a cliffhanger is kind of a good thing. You know, kind of wish it would have continued on and would eventually complete a happy ending. But why did Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles never get a third season? Let's see what several internet rumors purport to explain why Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles didn't get a third season. One theory states that the anime's deviation from the manga caused a rift between Clamp and B Train, causing them to cancel their future plans. Another theory says that NHK, the network that aired the first two seasons of Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, proved the third season, but canceled it when it learned how violent the plot would become. However, like most rumors, there is no solid evidence backing up either of these theories. In fact, both are seemingly the result of a decade long game of internet telephone. Oh, that sounds kind of funny. Let me see here. Okay. All right. And we're getting kind of faded again. All right. I don't know why that keeps happening, but huh. However, there are other reasons the anime may not have gotten a third season. One big reason is that the show might not have been popular enough to warrant it. While the anime has dedicated fans, as do many of Clamp's work, by the way, it did receive a decent amount of criticism while it was on the air. Most of this is because of the show's glacial pace. It was very slow. Significant plot progression is rare, meaning you could skip over whole groups of episodes and miss nothing of importance. You got Shaoran, you got Sakura right there up front, Fi on your screen right over Shaoran's left shoulder, and then Kurogane, the tall guy in the back there, the swordsman. This is made worse by the show's massive amount of filler content. Many episodes feature storylines not found in the manga. Plus, episodes feel padded, packed with loads of drawn out shots, sequences that serve no real purpose. It is made worse by the show's highly episodic nature. While episodic storytelling can be fun in some shows, the storytelling about the Reservoir Chronicles made it feel even slower and more directionless, making chunks of the show and other chore to get through. Yeah, well, one thing that they mentioned in the beginning of this article too was that Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles um, was a at the time they hadn't finished the manga yet, and we've seen this in many shows where the manga is not complete, so they sometimes have to Naruto's a prime example of that. Where sometimes they have to actually throw in fillers so that the manga can get ahead of the anime. You know, um, that's also sometimes what leads to some shows being actually redone, so that they can, like a couple of shows that come to mind. What I'm thinking here is the idea of shows being redone. Once the manga is further along or finished, or of course Full Metal. The Full Metal Alchemist that came out in the early 2000s was only up to a point, and Brotherhood was more true to the manga because that had the more complete part of the manga done. Um, what was the other one that just crossed my mind too? With that, well, Hunter x Hunter is another one too. The 90 when the first Hunter x Hunter series came out back in '99, they weren't even up to they were only up through the York View arc, and then when they redid the series in 2011, that was they included like the Greed Island arc, the Chimera Ant arc, you know. I think the manga's still going, so there's still stuff that could be done. Like I think the association president arc, I believe too. So, but anyways, let's see. Plus, while the references to Clamp's other works and its crossovers with Holic are fun, many of these references take the form of deep cuts, and these elements could be alienating for viewers who are not Clamp superfans and want to enjoy the show as a standalone project. Yeah, I think it depends upon what you feel about shared universes too, in any creative format. Um, anyways, let's see. We're already at an hour 41 here, so might start to wrap this up right after this article here. Um, there will likely never be a definitive reason there was never a third season of Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. However, it does present a fascinating look at how an anime, even one made by a talented team, can peter out and stop without any solid ending, finishing years before its source material does. But it also shows the perils of adapting a manga as it runs. As while anime fans can handle and sometimes love filler, it can lead to a show getting criticized for feeling far too slow, putting people off the story. Yeah, Boss of Resurrect one of those is now streaming on Crunchyroll. All right, so we're at an hour 41, so I think I'm going to start to wind down here. Yeah, we're actually now like hour 42, coming on hour 43. So we'll go ahead and start to wind down. I think it's a good spot here. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and do the wrestling roundup as we do, of course, the news. So so aside from what I talked about earlier, apparently the NXT has a has a premium live event coming up this weekend as well. I understand. And from what I understand too, apparently the New Day, the New Day tag team of Kofi Kingston and um and Xavier Woods are going to be part of that show. So let me see here. NXT Deadline. That's the show coming up this Saturday from Orlando, Florida, the WWE Performance Center. Okay, you have Braun Breaker, who's going to be defending the NXT title against Apollo Crews on that event. You have the WWE NXT tag titles on the line as a team of Pretty Deadly of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson will be taking on the New Day, as I just previously mentioned. In a number one contenders match for the NXT title, in the Iron Survivor, you have an Iron Survivor. Basically, you have an Iron Survivor matches, which are kind of like the Iron Man matches from WCW way back, way back when. In the women's title number one contender Iron Survivor match, you have Zoe Stark, Indy Hartwell, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, and Kiana James. On the men's side for the NXT title, JD McCullough, Joe Gacy, Carmelo Hayes, Axiom, and Grayson Waller. So those are some of the big matches coming up on this weekend's NXT breakout. I think is that breakout? Yeah, or no, deadline. Deadline, pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. Of course, as we've also talked about on this Saturday also, Ring of Honor will be holding its Final Battle pay-per-view. We talked about that. Of course, Chris Jericho will be defending the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title against Claudio Castagnoli, with the stipulation that if Castagnoli loses, he will have to join the Jericho Appreciation Society and become a sports entertainer. And I think everybody knows that Claudio is not necessarily looking forward to that prospect if he loses. But also, of course, signed as previously we talked about. Some of the matches that were previously signed included for the Pure title, Daniel Garcia defending the Pure Championship against Wheeler Yuta. Mercedes Martinez will be defending the women's title against Athena. And what we had also talked about previously, Swerve in Our Glory of Keith Lee and Shane Strickland will be taking on Shane Taylor promotion, JD Griffey and Shane Taylor. Also announced yesterday that Samoa Joe would be defending the World Television title against Juice Robinson. Now, a couple more matches that were signed, I guess this week include FTR defending the Ring of Honor World Tag titles in a double dog collar match, a double dog collar and chain match against the Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark Briscoe. And then the World Six Man, and this particular one has been getting played out a little bit on Elevation too. The Ring of Honor World Six Man Tag titles will be on the line at this weekend's final battle as well, as Dalton Castle and the boys defend the title against the embassy of Brian Cage, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona, with Prince Nana in their corner. So that's what's going on there. Of course, we know also on tonight's episode of Dynamite, FTR, one of the matches that we do know about is that um, FTR will be going after trying to add a fourth set of tag titles to their portfolio, as it were, as they take on the Acclaimed. Acclaimed will be defending the AEW World Tag titles tonight on Dynamite. Against FTR, as they look to also on the match, also on the night, Samoa Joe defends a TNT title against Darby Allin. You have the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal going on, as confirmed in the match include Matt Hardy, Dustin Rhodes, Orange Cassidy, a few names: the Blade and the Butcher, Brian Cage, Ethan Page, Dalton Castle, Ricky Starks, Kip Sabian, Jack Perry, Sean Dean. Now, a few more names are added in there. Since I last we talked about it last night. You also have in a tag match, you have in preparation for this weekend final battle, you have Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. And you have in a 6-woman tag team match, you have the baddies of Jade Cargill, Layla Gray, and Red Velvet taking on the challenger Kiera Hogan, Sky Blue, and Madison Rayne. So, got a lot of that. You got a lot of stuff going on this week, particularly in AEW and Ring of Honor. So, as much as I got for you guys on that one. Hey, Rick. Thanks for dropping in, my friend. See you there. Thanks for popping in there. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, help see if we can get some more friendly people. Granted, I know I'm wrapping up here, but with that, also, as we begin to wrap up, we're about to now that we've finished with the wrestling roundup. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this day in each history. So let's see now. Let me just remind myself of a few things here. 2005, 2002, and then 1992. All right. So without any further ado, today being Wednesday, December the 7th, 2022. Let's take a look back at this day. Each history. So first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today. On this day, 30 years ago today, back in 1992, the Warner Brothers cartoon What's Opera Doc is added to the National Film Registry. What's Opera Doc was originally a 1957 American Warner Brothers Merry Melodies cartoon directed by Chuck Jones. The short was released on July 6, 1957. The reason it's part of history here is because on this date in 1992, this date in 1992, the Library of Congress deemed it culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant and selected it for preservation in the National Film Registry, making it the first short cartoon to receive such honors. Duck Amuck and One Froggy Evening were later inducted into the registry, making Chuck Jones the only animator with 3 shorts thus recognized. So I think what they're saying here is that the National Film Registry here in the States was set up by the Library of Congress to preserve things that they deemed were culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. This was the first cartoon. Let's see, it was named in 1994. Number one as list of top 50 cartoons. The list was okay. So take a quick peek and look at the plot a little bit. My guess is it has something to do with. Let's see. Let's just read a little bit more about this. Let's see. The short was and stars Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. The story features Elmer chasing bugs through a parody of 19th century classical composer Richard Wagner's operas, particularly The Ring de Nibelungen, The Ring of Nibelungen, Der Verlinde Holländer, The Flying Dutchman, in Tannhäuser. Borrows heavily from the second opera in the Ring cycle. So basically, this is kind of an adaptation of a bunch of operas, and in 1992, they were deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant for preservation purposes. So 30 years ago today, what's Opera Doc? Playing on Bugs' classic catchphrase of "What's up, Doc?" Was added to the National Film Registry in the Library of Congress. Now, moving on to next piece in each history, we go back just 20 years ago today for the next piece in each history. On this date in 2002, 20 years ago today, Ring of Honor would hold its Night of the Butcher event from the Murphy Recreational Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The show was named after wrestling icon Abdullah the Butcher, who was brought in by Homicide to help him settle his feud against the Carnage Crew in a bunkhouse brawl, which was the main event, of course. Abdullah the Butcher and Homicide. Homicide, the current NWA World Junior Heavyweight. No, actually, I'm sorry. He was he's a former NWA, as Kerry Martin did defeat him most recently at Hard Times, but Homicide brought in Abdullah the Butcher to help defeat the Carnage Crew of DeVito and Loke, the tag team bunkhouse match. Xavier retained the Ring of Honor World Championship over AJ Styles with Alexis Lurie in his corner. For those of you who may not know, Alexis Lurie is Mickey James. He's currently on our last rodeo in TNA right now. So this is 20 years ago. Let's see. Also, they had a number one contenders trophy tournament going on in the semifinal, and in what they call the first round matches of it. We saw Paul London defeat Easy Money in one match. American Dragon defeat Chad Collier in the other match. Then the two would face off, in which Paul London won the final for the number one contenders trophy. American Dragon, of course, that's Bryan Danielson, currently in AEW. Also, you saw the SAT, the Spanish announce team of the Maximo brothers, Joel and Jose, defeat the Hit Squad. Jay Briscoe and Amazing Red and Special K in a 4-way tag team scramble match. So let's see, any other? Colt Cabana also defeated CM Punk on that show. So with that, now it's even long before their current situation too. So with that, guys, so we have one more piece in each history where we wrap things up. All right. So we're coming up on 2 hours here. Let me see now. So we have one more piece in each history here. All right. So on this date in 2005, 17 years ago today, fifth and final issue of Battle Hymn from Image Comics went on sale on this date for $2.99, and it was 32 pages. So on this date, back in 2009, the fifth issue of Battle Hymn went on sale on this date. Fifth and final issue of Battle Hymn went on sale on this date. So, anyways, guys, thank everybody for being here tonight. Don't forget to come back here tomorrow for more Niche News. Also, don't forget that this Friday, Rick Piper of Cross Comics will be joining me as we will continuing our look at comics that went on sale in July 1939, focusing on Dell Comics. Also, this Sunday, of course, will be our next episode of the Weekend Edition, where Rick, among others, will be with me. We'll have our weekly panel discussion on all things niche. So I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday, and every night. So until then, bye.